We're out here on the range today and I have like 6 videos to record. It's crazy. What a good way to spend a Saturday, right? But before I do that, I want to show you guys what Doubletap Industries sent me. So I have known Kyle and his team for a couple years at this point since they started their business. Met them at a number of industry shows. I love swinging by their booth and seeing the new things that they come up with. And they were kind enough to send me a bunch of steel targets for the range. I'm so stoked to get steel on the range. I have those Throom targets and I love them. They're great for close shooting, but especially once you start moving back, it's, in my opinion, great to have steel as well so you can hear that audible ding. Polymer tends to kind of just absorb the bullet. And anyway, so I want to unbox this and show you what I got. I have one more box coming that UPS lost. So let's jump in and see what I got from Doubletap. And I did actually print myself some notes so that I could tell you some of the details of some of these cooler, unique products. So first things out of the gate, these shipped very fast from Indiana to me in Tennessee, which I'm grateful for, and they're well packaged and they came undamaged, which is always nice. Bunch of Doubletap stickers. And what do we have in here? Gongs. All right. Number of steel gongs. That looks like an 8, a 4, a 2, another 2, another 2, and a 6. This is a Doubletap stencil Kyle threw in there. You can just put it on there and I can mark those for him, which is cool. Definitely want to show off the Doubletap steel. So while I'm unboxing this next box, one of the things I love, or a couple of the things actually that I love about Doubletap is all their stuff's made in the USA, at least the steel side of what they do. I found them to be a great value for the money. There are a ton of steel targets out there. Some are really cheap and really low quality, so low cost of low quality, and some are very premium, and there's nothing wrong with the premium ones. But I found Doubletap to kind of fill a nice little spot in the middle where they're affordable, but still well made, produced in America, and are gonna hold up in time to the use that we all put them through. Boy, I'm gonna have a pile of stuff to clean up. All right, in here, these are, first of all, more stickers. And then this is their H-base for paper and steel targets. This is cool. I'm not gonna unpack it now because looking at the size of these boxes, I'm pretty sure the A-zone steel target is not in this box, and for the sake of not losing components, I'm not going to take these all apart. But I'll show you this before we get, by the time you see this video, I will have all the components. But basically 2x4s and 1x2s, and you can put A-zone on it, you can put paper in front of it, you can do all sorts of things with it. Really flexible design, letting you kind of get creative with whatever you are trying to accomplish with your training. A couple simple components there. And then this is a Harmonic Static 2x4 steel target hanger. So this is what like the A-zone is gonna hang off of on a 2x4 on that base, all right? So when the other box that's missing shows up, I will show you guys how this is all assembled. But for the moment, that's that. So these are hangers for the gongs and some pins, which you'll see what those are for in a second. Finally, last box here. This is really, really, really cool. These are a quick stand kit, a conduit alternative. So it's a 1-inch EMT conduit replacement. Basically just assemble this thing, and then there's spring pins and cotter pins, allowing you to just quickly set it up on the range. Now mine's gonna be permanent, so it's not a big deal, but this is good for like travel, or if you needed to break it down and store it easier than fiddling with conduit. This just basically goes together. All right, got the quick stand kit unboxed here, and this looks really simple to put together. I'm quite excited about this. Basically, some of these are, actually all of them might be marked with Doubletap's logos, which are cool. There's just like push spring pins there, and I'm gonna assume 2 of these. Not all of these have spring pins, so I should probably pay a little more attention. I'm thinking the ones without the spring pins are probably meant to be the tops. There are directions, didn't watch them. I kind of like getting things from companies and seeing how intuitive whatever the thing is I got is gonna be to put together. You can adjust the height on these if you want this to be lower, like you just take off the one section. I am gonna want mine chest height, so I'm gonna set it up with all the parts. So then there's a bunch of quick pins, hooks, attachment braces. So I'm gonna open up these and we're gonna begin. there's holes drilled in these brackets, which I'm sure these pins go through. Probably like not necessary to have these pinned that I could figure, but certainly nice that you can. All right, I got the other one set up, and then you just take conduit. This isn't actually conduit, but the quick stand, and you slide it through each end. Like so. And then there did appear to be 2 extra clips, which I'm seeing now probably are for the end of this. And that's just gonna keep everything nice and bundled up so that as the steel is getting shot, it doesn't work itself apart by accident. If you're watching, you might be like, hey, idiot, you forgot to do something. I did, for sure. So before you go put this all together, you're gonna wanna hang these. And I don't really know which way they're gonna go. I'm gonna hang them backwards with the hook to the back. If I find that's not working, I'll turn them around. But I could actually just turn the whole stand around too. So with a bit of talking and a little bit of fiddling, 5-minute setup. So if you need it to be portable, this is a great thing. Like, it doesn't weigh that much. Obviously the steel is going to weigh a bit. I should have put some of those on from the other end, I can tell. But anyway, the steel is gonna weigh a bit, but if you need it to be portable, good, fast way to do that here. I am gonna move these out to the end so that as minimally as possible, they'll get hit, because, well, we all know that damage to your hardware is probably more costly than the hardware itself, because you gotta replace stuff when you break it. I'm gonna assume these bigger gongs need 2. There you have it, quick stand kit from Doubletap. 5 minutes to put together. If I had put it together before and was moving this, you know, from one range to another or whatever. Really excited to shoot this in a few minutes. And thank you again to Doubletap. Gonna go ahead and spray paint their logo because they sent me this cool brand and I can do that. And then, yeah, I'll actually get into the range stuff I gotta do today. As you can see, I shot the targets a lot on the first range day I used them, and I hit the rack a few times, which happens. I can either buy a replacement rack or I can put conduit in here, because that's the beauty of this, is it's designed for conduit or this quick stand kit. One thing I noticed is the targets consistently move to the left, and that's because this area is sloped slightly downhill. So I'm going to basically swap a few targets around, and then I'm gonna zip tie these, I think, in place. So let's see how that goes. And the reason I'm moving this around is because I want to move this 8-inch over, and it's not going to move over past that bullet hole that I put in it. I already tried that. And that's actually not going to move over, but it can't move any further that way, so I'm going to leave that as is. We'll put that one there. I think just zip ties is gonna be enough to hold this, as long as I don't shoot the zip ties. But I will tuck them around the back because I don't like when things are obviously protruding off of stuff. This is gonna work well for keeping those targets where I want them to be, because these are very nicely machined. It's just the downhill slope is a little bit working to my disadvantage. I'm gonna move that over just a touch further. Cool, that's it. Told you guys we weren't using the H-base today. I was wrong, because you can run it with 1x2s and paper. I have 1x2s and I've got cardboard targets to shoot. I'm gonna set this up. When I get the A-zone, I'll throw that on it as well with the harmonic hanger, and that'll be really cool. But for the moment, we'll run paper on it. So it's got just a couple pieces. It looks like 4 main parts and a bit of, basically a bit of like screws, a couple screws, bolt things. Every machinist right now is dying because they're definitely bolts, and I said screws. Yes, I'm that guy. And I'm thinking it just goes together like that, but that's clearly upside down. So I'm thinking that I should have read the direction, but I have fun figuring things out. So beauty of doing this from home is that I can just go grab a ratchet
Socket.
and finish this. So I'll be right back. All right, 5 minutes later, got my toolbox. Gonna run these down the rest of the way so that it's nice and tight. What's the chances that that's just a 13? So when you get your H-base from Doubletap Industries, plan on having a 13 millimeter impact or wrench. All right, that's an H-base. Now, I've got 1x2s that I keep down here. If they're not too swollen, they'll fit in there. And they're not even close to fitting in there. This is why you don't store your 1x2s outside, because they absorb water and swell. All right, well, I can staple cardboard to those, that'll work. Don't store your 1x2s outside. That'll do. There we go. H-stand works good. If I had better 1x2s, it would work even better. I'll get some new ones. That can just stay on the range, and I'll just pull the 1x2s each time I'm done with it. So now let's get to shooting.